Peace, y'all. It's Trelani, and today I want to talk about valuing your work. Not specifically setting a price on it, but determining when to charge for it and when to do it for free. Hopefully, you found a lot of value in this because certainly when I was at this crossroads in my writing career, it was definitely a question that I had. Okay, so there are three main reasons why I'm willing to do some work for free, some writing for free, or editing. Number one, is because I want to up my skills or my confidence. And this can go, it certainly went for when I initially started freelance writing. So interestingly, I wrote my first book before I started doing freelancing. And I know for a lot of writers, it's actually the other way around, but not for me. It was, I actually did my book first. And then my homegirl, Akila S. Richards, thank you so very much. She reached out to me and was like, hey, I started this new blogazine. Do you want to write for it? I think you'll be a dope fit. I looked into it myself, seeing what the vibe was like, what the content was like. And I was like, yeah, I would love to. That's dope. And because that was my first time freelancing, I didn't feel confident about it. I didn't feel I had the skill to do that. So I didn't charge anything. And through that experience, though, I got experience. Right? Through that experience, I got experience. But yeah, so I actually was able to build a portfolio. I had some clips. And from there, I might have did a few more free writings for some blogazines, some blogs, some websites and stuff like that. And now I had that experience behind me, right? So I have a few months or years I can't recall of that kind of work. Well, then now, so I started having people reach out to me like, hey, I started a new website. Can you write our about page? Or I have these products I sell. Can you write up like some product descriptions? That's a whole nother new thing that I'd never done before. So I did that for free to get my feet wet in that. Once I felt confident enough in that, then I began to charge for it. And what's another one? Those are the ones. Oh, so like websites like for Harriet and Blavity.com. So those were a little more, they had much larger audiences and they have like a style sheet. So, and like a long, like a list of editors. So if you want to pitch something, you pitch what you want to write about. They'll let you know if they accept it or not. And then, you send it to them, they edit it, send it back. And, it's kind of a back and forth thing, however long it takes. And I did that for free because that was my first time writing for platforms with larger audiences. Once I feel comfortable with it, which I certainly do now and have for some years now it's time to give me my change. So reason number two that I'm willing to do some work, exchange some services and not charge for it would be because I know I really believe in what they're doing, but I know they can't afford to pay me. They don't have the budget to pay me. And I want to actually back up a little bit because it's not just writing and editing I provide. So sometimes it's like workshop facilitation, moderating panels, speaking at events, all kind of stuff. And so, for example, I've moderated a panel on the Me Too movement down in Savannah, Georgia, and I really believed in that. But it was the first time that event took place, and they intended for it to be an annual thing. They didn't have a budget quite yet because it was free to the audience too. And like I said, that was the first year. So I believed in it. I know they didn't have a budget. Here's how I'm willing to help. That's another major thing too. So although you're giving it for free, I'm not just at your disposal. You can tell me what kind of help you need, and I can tell you how much of that I'm willing to assist you with. That's a way to, keep the energy good too in that exchange, that free exchange. Another example would be like this weekend, actually, the Black Film Festival in Baltimore. So this kind of actually blends number one and number two for me. So number one, I'm actually working on screenwriting myself, my first screenplay. So I want to learn more about film festivals and how they work and do some networking in that. So it kind of works to my advantage to do that. It's something, I've never worked a film festival before. So who am I to I wouldn't charge for that. I don't feel confident in doing that. I don't know what I'm doing. But number two, I'm also really, really passionate about the founder, her reason for starting this film festival and it being her second year. I know she don't have a budget to pay, everybody involved in it, and I would have a small involvement. So no, I didn't charge for it. But go into that with your intuition too, because sometimes people will act like they don't have a budget for it. It's common hustling. You get what you can before you have to. So not in all cases, but in some people. So go into it with your intuition definitely. Before you just agree to do something for free or even volunteer for do something for free, which I never recommend volunteering to do it for free. Always see first. So number 3, the third reason why I'm willing to offer my services and not charge for it would be because my spirit told me. So my spirit, my intuition, my gut, God, universe, however you want to label it. And partner with that, it won't require much time, energy, effort from me. So I remember like a local nonprofit down in Savannah. I don't think they had just gotten started, but they just started their website. And I went and checked it out, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, I just knew immediately, like, what could be done to enhance it, to make the wording, the content better. So I reached out to the owner, and I was like, hey, if you're open to it, I'm willing to do this. And she was like, yes, thank you so much, and that felt good. That felt good. It didn't take much time from me at all. I think it might have took me about 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to reword it, to rewrite it. And it brought a lot of value to her. So it sounds a lot like number 2, but not necessarily so, because sometimes maybe because like she does have a budget. She did have a budget. I remember she actually had just got a grant, but I also knew like her itinerary, her agenda rather, a lot that she was planning to do, and I knew that money needed to go a lot of other places. So I was like, you know what, I got you on this. I got you on this. Another time I remember like a woman who had been through so much. I want to say it was a lot. It was like some natural disasters on top of like a marriage and losing a child. It was a lot. And she wrote a book about it. And I remember just thinking like, I don't even know how you have the capacity to even sit down and want to write a book after everything you've been through. And I remember like she posted that she had just finished the book. And so when I just reached out to her and I let her know, like what I was willing to offer her, to assist her in that journey. And she was so grateful, and that felt good to me. So it's not always all about the dollar. It's definitely, we definitely need to get our paper. I'm all about that, and all the rhetoric that tells you to make sure you demand your money and to get what you're worth and to not let nobody talk you into what I'm doing this for exposure. I agree with that wholeheartedly, but there's also value and sometimes just in giving and giving back, So, giving back isn't always with our money. Sometimes it's with our time, it's with our energy. And so, yeah. So I hope you found a lot of value in this video. I know, like I said, once I was at this point in my writing career and wondering like, I got this opportunity. Should I do it? Should I charge for it? This would have helped me buku. So hopefully it's helping you as well. If you have any questions or tips of your own, experiences of your own, drop them below. I would love to hear it. Peace.